This is part 6 of What If Naruto Was Rimurus Reincarnation. Real quick, I am sorry for not posting for the last 3 days. I had stuff going on, and I was trying to get a video out at the time, but I really couldn't at the time, because of all the stuff that was going on. Oh yeah, so, just because it's been a little while since I posted, I'm gonna give you guys a quick recap. Basically, at the end last the last part, Hidan and Kakuzu tried to invade the Leaf, and after that happened, they took care of those two, and both of them were pretty unscathed, other than the fact that a couple Anbu had died. So that's pretty much a. Oh yeah, so from then this is going to be like it's gonna be around the same time like that just happened. Alright, so right now I'm gonna switch perspectives to the Mist Village. So the Mizukage and the elders are all they don't like that village very much for the main reason that they have power, but they're all a bunch of misfits and just fucked up people. And the Mizukage was didn't like it either, even though he had been just saved by them. He said they have way too much power. That village has to go down for downfall, or else they might surpass even the Leaf Village someday. Alright, after Naruto had helped the Mizukage, Naruto thought that he'd gotten full trust out of them because he had also gotten paid for helping the village. He got around 5 million yen. Alright. After getting the money, he spent it on funds towards his village and building more houses and that. After setting up a bunch of more houses and fortifying the wall and just in general defense, they started to they used the people that had earth style, and they had them make the island bigger so they could expand more. And they also decided to move their village a lot farther out. After moving their village out and moving their gates and just everything expanding in general, they decided to start adding hospitals and a lot of essential places. And after just in generally building up the village and just having it in generally working, we're gonna have a time skip to around a year from now. And this is when the Mizukage had decided that his final choice was before they got any bigger was to invade them. So this is about a week later, and all the mist people are ready. And Naruto had started to notice a lot of people going around his village. Naruto told all the strongest people and people that could fight to get around the gates because he thinks someone's coming. After that, one of the gates is completely broken down. Well, one of the fucking the gates of the walls, you know. And after that was completely broken down, he saw the Mizukage. And Naruto said, "Why are you here?" He said, "We're gonna destroy this entire village. Make sure you misfits will never be able to have a good life. At least maybe not here. You might die and go to heaven. Some of you might. But for a lot of you, you're probably gonna go to hell for all the shit that you've done." Mizukage gives him a death glare and says, "This village has gained way too much power, and we're just here to stop it." Naruto looks at the Mizukage and said, "Right after I just saved your sorry-ass village, this is about a year ago, your ass decides to come and attempt to invade my village." Naruto gave him a death smile, looking like he's about to completely just murder everybody there. And after giving him that look, no one sees him, and shortly after, in about a second, you just see the Mizukage's head fall off straight to the ground. And all the shinobi were all questioning what the hell just happened. Because from what they saw, Naruto just didn't move. He just disappeared. And then they saw their precious Mizukage's head fall straight to the floor. And Naruto said, "Try to invade this village and I'll kill you too. Last warning, leave or I'll destroy your entire village." All the people there said, "Yeah, you may have killed our Mizukage, but we have numbers." And Naruto said, "So do I." And he told Khan to come out. And he used his power. His power is basically metal manipulation, and he sent a bunch of metal spikes going from all directions. And after that, there were around just a quarter of the forces left. And Naruto decided to just cut all their heads off and sell them for a bounty. Just to see if any of them had bounties. After going to the Mist Village, he completely burned it down and turned it into his own territory. All the civilians in it died because of their Mizukage's and elders' intentions. After marking it as their territory, all the people that survived all wanted revenge, but they all realized that they were not strong enough where they could even take out their Kage, the Shadow Kage. And very, very soon after, almost every village had gotten wind of this. The Cloud Village, every single village. And Sasuke had heard rumors about it. And so, shortly after, he went to go check it out, and he saw the mark of the shadow just sitting on them, on a flag. And Sasuke went over to the Whirlpool Village. Well, the Shadow Village. He went to the Shadow Kage's mansion, and he saw Naruto just sitting in a chair. And Sasuke yelled, "What the fuck did you do?" And Naruto looked at him and said, "They tried to invade the village, so we took over theirs." Looking very peacefully, Naruto said. And Sasuke said, "How?" He said, "Simply, I just had me and members of my village come and take them out." And at this point, he has completely perfected the perfect Susanoo. It is perfect. And so Naruto said, "Are you here to fight me or something? To take me back?" Sasuke nodded and said, "Yeah, we will come back to the leaf." Naruto took him to the same training ground where he had originally taken on every single one of them. So Sasuke had dropped, after getting there, he had dropped every single weight that he was holding, which was around 5 to 6, maybe even 7. After dropping all the weights, they went pretty deep into the ground. Naruto said, I won't be needing to take my weights off to take on you. I'm not saying you're not strong, you're just not strong enough to beat me. Sasuke glared at him and said, oh, so you think I'm weak now? Naruto yelled, are you fucking deaf? Sasuke said no. And after that, Naruto said, 3, 2, 1, fight. After that, both of them were barely even able to be seen by any of the people there. But there were huge amounts of gusts of wind, and occasionally you could see one of them. So around a minute and a huge crowd started forming after seeing those two fighting. Naruto said, do you want me to take my weights off, Sasuke? He said, wait, I thought you were going all out right now. Naruto said, why did you think that? I already told you I wasn't taking off my weights. Sasuke said, I thought you were joking. I didn't even think you had weights. And after this, Naruto had said, okay, I'm taking off my weights now. You're actually a worthy opponent. He took his weights off, which was around 10 of them. He dropped them into space, and there was a huge hole just from those weights. Naruto said, I'm ready now. And shortly after that, Naruto was basically teleporting everywhere. And Sasuke just kept feeling punches straight everywhere. And he couldn't even figure it out. So he yelled, Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. After turning on his internal Mangekyo, or EMS, he was able to keep up with Naruto, but with his eyes. Barely, but he could do it. He said, Perfect Susanoo. Go! After that, Naruto said, wow, how impressive. And by this point, Naruto had mastered around 7 tails of the 9 tails. And Naruto said, Kurama, go. After turning on Kurama to that form, he was basically wrecking shit. He was able to break through the Susanoo, grab Sasuke by the neck, breaking his arm. Then he moved to his arm, snapped it, and then he did the same thing to all of his other limbs. And Sasuke said, I give up. After Sasuke gave up, he said, how did you beat me? I'm the strongest in the whole entire leaf. And Naruto said, oh, what a shame. Sadly, you're going against the Shadow Kage. Sasuke said, you will come back one day. I don't care if it takes me to get the Rene Sharingan even. I don't care. Even if that is just a legend. I will kill you. And Naruto said, oh yeah. So, is it okay if I can get some Uchiha DNA? Sasuke looked at him with confusion. He said, why? And Naruto said, oh, just because I want to get the Sharingan. Sasuke looked at him and said, maybe if I beat you and you came back to the leaf after, maybe I'd give you some. It's all stored away in a container, which is guarded by Ambu. Naruto laughed hysterically and said, "You think some fucking Ambu can stop me?" Sasuke, knowing damn well that they couldn't stop him, said, "Well, if you steal it, that's nothing I can really do about it." Naruto said, "I'm only gonna take around a syringe full, that way I can get myself a Sharingan." Now you guys may be wondering, you're making him way too OP, which is fair, but he's already at like the speed of light, and pretty soon the series is gonna end around part 10, maybe even less than that. All right, after Naruto went to the leaf, with which basically took him seconds because he had a teleport over at Ichiraku, and Naruto said, "Hey, old man, can I get the usual?" The ramen guy looked up and saw Naruto, but he was a lot more unfit and decent, and was just in generally a lot stronger than he normally looked. Ramen guy said, "Yeah, sure," and he said, "It's on the house." Naruto said, "I'm probably not going to be here very long, but I just came. You were the only person that really cared about me in this village, and I thought I'd stop by." Ramen guy asked how he was doing, and Naruto said, "I made my own, and I took over the Hidden Rain village. And I also have my own village, which wasn't taken over because I already owned it. Because I'm an Uzumaki, but I'm also part Namikaze." Alright. After that, he went to the Uchiha, where Sasuke was at, and Sasuke gave him a syringe full, and Naruto pumped it into himself. Naruto checked before, just to make sure it wasn't poison, and after that, Naruto had unlocked the one to Moe. Alright, so I know this is a short part compared to a lot of the late ones that I've been doing lately, but I figured this is a decent time to stop. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go. Oh yeah, wait, actually, never mind. Fuck. You don't listen to anything